pastor asked Nigerians to lend Osinbajo to America for 4 years. The United States of America pastor Joe Rennie has joined the long list of the admirers of Nigeria's Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, SAN. Rennie, who attended the opening session of the 6th Assembly of the Forum for Promoting Peace, organized by the government of the United Arab Emirates, couldn't hide his expression over the speech delivered by Nigeria's Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. Pastor Joel Rennie wrote via his Twitter handle at Joel Rennie, "The best, most profound and moving speech in Abu Dhabi last week was delivered by this man, Vice President Osinbajo of Nigeria. Powerful." In response to the lead pastor of the Covenant Church, another Twitter user at Eniola_Opeyemi replied, "Brilliancy, intellectual sagacity can't be restricted. Just like the sun, it shines everywhere. This is the case of our vice president, Nigeria's own professor. He is so energetic and never relenting." I am not surprised at Joel Rennie distinguished his speech out of many others. "Thank you, sir," the U.S. pastor, who couldn't hide his enthusiasm about the vice president, responded. "Can we borrow him for about 4 years, starting in 2020? Our nation needs leaders like him." Other Nigerians took to their handles to express why the vice president couldn't be released even beyond 2023. Atienola_Opeyemi said, "So kind a word, but unfortunately Nigeria and Nigerians still need him beyond them. I am sure he is open for consultation. Mind you, he is still our property and we cherish him more." And someone says, "We would have loved to lend him to you guys, but we need him much more beyond 2023. Very hilarious. We need him in Nigeria more than you do, sir. May God bless Professor Yemi Osinbajo." So guys, that is a encomium that the vice president got. I think there was the program in Abu Dhabi, and that was why the US pastor said, "Oh, Adibin, they could just lend them for 4 years, lend Osinbajo to them for 4 years. It would have been a different thing, or maybe a good thing from next year." And some people really responded at their Twitter handle. Of course, there's no there's no there's no lie about that. That is just the truth of the matter. Nothing but that. In one of my videos, I said that it's not as if we have good people. And I said, forget about all of those things that, things surrounding the vice president that is not making him handicapped. Just the few times that even the president wasn't around, we know what he did. We know what he was able to pull. And at the end of the day, we begin to hear from the cabas. Even himself said the things he's going through as a result of the cabas, because they are the ones behind the whole thing. And I said, let's leave all those things behind and let's focus on him. That the guy is brilliant. The guy is brilliant. That ordinarily is not supposed to even be the vice president. He's supposed to be the president in a proper place, in a senate place. That man's supposed to be the president. The few times he handled government when Buhari was not around, we know what happened, and we'll be hearing from from people from different quarters that, oh, because of some decisions he took, as if he overstepped his boundary. People felt it, and people were like, even that time, that anytime, even that the president should be traveling and let him take over. But since that time, the president stopped handing over to him because of everybody knows what is obtainable. Because I could remember vividly then, everybody was praising the vice president, oh, the acting president, oh, that he tried, that they would prefer that the president should be traveling so that this man would take over. Because anytime he took over, you could see the relief in the atmosphere. So there's no doubt about it. It is what we know. But the problem in our country is that the unqualified are ruling the qualified. Why the qualified are really handicapped? They are really handicapped. Their hands and their legs are being tied. That is just the way it is. If you are qualified, you cannot be there. Because I don't just know. Like I always say, the foundation of Nigeria is faulty. The foundation of the government is really, really faulty. And I was, try to digress concerning what Ruben Abati said, that there is evil spirit in Aso Rock. By the time they get it, they will be They will not be able to do much. They will not be able to do anything because you can't be having that kind of man. That man is over sound, but see how they have, how they have messed him up. They have really messed him up. We've not even been hearing anything about him. Do you know most of all this thing, that he was in charge? As soon as they came in for the second term, they just took over everything. Even his aides, they removed them. They were telling us all cock and bull stories, contradictory submission from the president and the spokesperson. They are just contradicting themselves. Say we are trying to cut costs. Oh no, the aides were really redeployed. What can we even talk about? Even in the case of even flouting court orders, disobeying court orders, the man could not say anything. You could not know that his hands were really tied. The only time he was able to speak concerning this Yowore was when he was supposed to be given an award, and he said he couldn't attend that award because it would be insensitive for him to receive such an award. And we know what we heard concerning the Kabas, what they were talking about him. There is no doubt. There is no doubt that the man is sound. There is no doubt about it. And that's why people are saying, if you know that, your presence is not needed, and or maybe you have there's something that they both have together, or they all have together, or whatever, that is just making him to be there, and for him to be now be saying, oh, I'm going to be loyal to the president. Of course, definitely, because they brought him to come and fill in the gap. Ordinarily, in a saner environment, this man cannot be the vice president now. He cannot be working under somebody that is more qualified, more than qualified than the president. That's just the way it is. Everybody knows that, and that's why they are fidgeting. So the American pastor, has not even said anything unusual, and that is just the truth of the matter. Let's hear what the people are saying concerning this statement by the American pastor. Someone says, in the land of brilliant people, a no certificate holder rules. I am so elated that the beautiful comment made by people as regards the vice president. Unfortunately, enemies of this nation will never agree with you guys. And someone says, do you really know his value? God have mercy. If the people you are working with do not appreciate you, if you see no value, if they see no value in your presence, then the honorable thing to do is to resign. If you refuse to resign and you are being treated as rag, then either you are corrupt or you are power hungry, as in the case with all the African politicians. Moreover, Nigerians are known for having bright ideas, but implementation is the problem. They do well in international assignments but fail at home. Tragedy of a nation. Unfortunately, this is the same man some evil and illiterate Kaba are working day and night to rubbish out of office. The only reason it appears as if Osinbajo is worthless is because of who is working under. You don't expect a law professor to work with who has no school certificate and see things straight. In the spirit of loyalty, so sad, the difference between the West and Africa is that the former see intelligence and talent and celebrate it. The latter see it, kill or tries to kill it and bury it. So sad, and I wish I was not an African from Nigeria. That's what this person is talking about. But this issue of no certificate, I thought they've, it's been laid to rest that the president has certificate. They did all manner of things, even the INEC, even to the court. They say everything is okay. You know that the abnormalities is the order of the day in this country. But some people, no matter what they try to do, a lot of people do not even agree with that. Those verdicts from the court. But since the court has said it, but people still know the truth within themselves. Okay, if that is how you guys will be rolling, no problem. No, it's fine. But within them, they know what they believe, and that's why you continue to hear people saying, still talking about this certificate saga. But that's by the wayside. It's unfortunate the most brilliant politician of our time is saddled with the most dearest, whose cohorts have refused to allow the VP take his place. Don't we notice period Buhari was sick, like I said, and outside the country, how every economic and socio-political indices changed for better when he was in charge. Rather, he never minded going to marketplace to share trader money, setting to trap him. Thank God he never indulge in swapping a thing many politicians would are falling into. Nigeria's climbing political environment of ethnicity and mediocrity will never allow people like him to step into the saddle of highest office and steer the country to great heights. It is very, very sad. Someone say, please do not create problems for our vice president before Ndoshi in government will start their winchons. Mr. Vice President, right on. God is on your side. You have the support and prayer of intelligent Nigerians. Of course, when they hear this one now, it's going to be another thing. Even that, according to what we heard, when he just made that statement that, oh, there's no way he would have attended that award because it would be insensitive when such thing, when Shiwore was still being heard and he would go and be receiving an award of us, that kind of a thing that he didn't, that is, and also he was not even around. So before we knew it, they started all this their because of that statement. And now at the end of the day, what happens? See how they really embarrassed themselves before the Committee of Nations. So it is a known fact that this guy is intelligent, but the unqualified are the ones ruling the qualified. The qualified cannot be there. Even if you manage to get there, your hands and your legs will be tired. You will not be able to do anything. They will just render you useless, just like the way they are messing with the vice president. Everybody knows what is obtainable. We have, when you talk about human resources, everything we that can move a country forward, we all have them, but the political we, and for those people to be there is the problem. They will not allow them to get there, but they can just use them to get election. But after the election, they will just render them unproductive. I think that's the word. They will render them unproductive, and that is what is playing us now. So guys, what do you think about the comments of this American pastor? A lot of people have said their own, and I'm sure you have your own submission to make, and let's hear that in the comment section. Thank you very much.